I wish to issue an apology today. This is Mike Adams, the Health Ranger, healthrangerreport.com. And, I just think this is the right thing to do. I've thought about it with I've meditated, I've prayed, I did yoga thinking about this, and I just feel like an apology is the only appropriate thing. So, here it is. I am sorry to all the people who won't survive the next collapse because they're too stupid to realize that preparedness is the only way to survive. I'm sorry. I'm really, really sorry that you're too stupid. Not you listening to this, but they, right? Because if you're listening to this, you're pretty much on board. But I'm sorry that they are too stupid to survive what's coming. It saddens me. It really does. I'm not even being satirical here. I have compassion and empathy for people, and I would just like to apologize for their stupidity right now. Somehow it's all my fault. Perhaps I did not. Maybe I need to buy ads on CNN that say, hey, get ready for the financial collapse, you morons. Or perhaps like a public service announcement on MSNBC that says the food in your cupboard will last only 3 days, you idiots. Maybe I should take out a full-page ad in the New York Times and say, by the way, I'm terribly sorry that your tap water will stop working the minute your local government suffers a financial collapse. And where are you going to go get water? And it's probably all my fault because apparently I should have donated to the New York City Volunteer Plumbing Brigade or something to have volunteer plumbers rush to the scene, or ride bicycles to pump the pressure valves and try to get water to the people of New York after the government. Now, of course, I guess overall I am being kind of facetious in this, but let's get serious here for a minute. I do like to open with some humor, and I especially like making fun of people who hate being made fun of because they think that anyone who says something that they disagree with is an intolerant, bigoted racist or racist bigot. Take your choice. They're the delicate little flowers of language police and leftist leftist speech. They're the new tolerati class of the special ones whose opinions and cultural sensitivities can never be transgressed. They can be transgendered, but not transgressed. I especially like annoying all those people on the extreme radical left who think that their thoughts are the only thoughts that should be allowed in society, and their words are the only words that should be allowed in society. And what that has to do with this segment, which is about preparing to survive in 2016, is that those are the people who are most likely to not be prepared, which means those are the people who are least likely to survive, because if you talk about an EMP weapon is scary and it invades their safe spaces, and if you talk about financial collapse, you're just being scary and you're a fearmonger and you're a bigot, and anyone who says Federal Reserve is racist. Racist, you racist anti-Federal Reservist, you evil white people that hate central banks. You're scary. And so these people will not survive, and that's actually a very important point in this talk, which is that the number one threat to you, the informed, intelligent, capable person who lives in the real world, is in fact other people. Yep, other people are your biggest threat. If you have half a brain, you can figure out how to survive in the wild. Take a magnesium fire starter with you, get a little tent, learn how to build shelter, have a hatchet. Come on, it's not that complicated. It really isn't, by the way. It's not that complicated to build a little fire, eat some wild herbs growing on the ground, or catch a squirrel and roast it over a fire. Whatever. It's not that difficult. The difficult thing is surviving the hordes of the brain-dead zombie masses who are suddenly cut off from all of their government entitlements and their safe spaces their social fabric, which is really a psychological crutch for their neediness and their entitlements and all of their parasitic activity on society. These are the people who are going to be the real threat to you. Because you, being an intelligent person, you have more than 3 days of food in your cupboard. You have extra water stored up. You probably have a firearm, and you probably know how to use it. If not, you're probably considering that, right? Because you understand that self-defense is important, especially if you're a woman, especially if you're a smaller framed person. How are you going to go up against a big bully from a gang whose food stamps suddenly got cut off, and he thinks your kitchen is now his property because he's a socialist? I mean, let's face it. Socialism is about everybody share. And they will invoke that big time when it all hits the fan and they have no food, but you have stored some food. All of a sudden, your food belongs to them in their minds. Everybody, it's time to share Bobby's food. You're supposed to share, Bobby. How dare you hoard food? You have taken food away from others by hoarding it for yourself. Really? Really? Maybe Bobby just bought some extra food at the grocery store and stored it away for a few months or a few years. Not exactly hoarding, is it? It's called food insurance. It's called planning ahead. It's called being prepared. It's called living sustainably. It's actually in alignment with the idea of self-reliance and sustainability and being intelligent and not creating a burden on society by running out of food. But again, the socialists, who are the radical leftist libtards, as we call them now, the zombie libtards, they will demand your food because they think it's theirs. This is the same way they think that your salary belongs to them too, you see. That's why they want to have government confiscate most of your salary to redistribute it to them in the form of free money, welfare, and food stamps, other entitlements that they don't feel like they should have to work for. They're just owed all that because they're obedient little leftist liberals who are so totally tolerant and totally in line with the desires of the administration in Washington. And so they feel like they should get all this free money and free food. I'm sorry if that voice annoys you. It's supposed to be annoying. That it is accurately mocking the annoying voice of the leftist radical liberals who are totally insane. So anyway, they, of course, they think that your food belongs to them, and they think that everything that you have belongs to them. And so, well, if you have stuff that belongs to them and you're hiding it in your kitchen or your home, well, surely they have the right to enter your home and take the stuff that belongs to them. Correct? This is the way they think. To them, it's not breaking and entering. It's not robbing your house. No, it's not aggravated assault against you and your family. No, it's just them coming to claim that which is already theirs in their own minds, which is your food, your medicine, your gold, your silver, and anything else you have of value that they want, because they are the leftist mob of social justice warriors. I mean, look at it. Remember in Ferguson, Missouri, the first thing they did when they started marching in the streets and attacking cops. What did they do? They started robbing and looting all the stores nearby. They're taking the furniture. Here's a big screen plasma display. Oh yeah, here's a bunch of prescription drugs from the local CVS pharmacy. They just started looting. And why are they looting? Because in their minds, that stuff belongs to them. They literally think this way. They're not stealing. You ask them, they'll tell you they're not stealing. They're just taking the stuff that they're owed because they've been denied all of this stuff. The white man took it from them. White man stole it from them. They're just taking it back. Right? This is the logic. So, whatever goes wrong in society, it's the white man's fault, obviously. And not just the man, but all white men. Oh my God, it's such a scary, scary thing. To be white and to be a man in society, there must be something evil about you. Right? So, and then after they loot the stores, what do? They set them on fire. Well, of course, this makes perfect sense if you're a lunatic, leftist, socialist, communist, whatever. This makes perfect sense. First you loot the place and then you burn it down. Because why would you want to leave a small business operating in your community? I mean, that's a crazy idea. Even why would you want to allow the owner of that business, who's probably your neighbor, why would you want to allow that person to have a business? It makes no sense, right? You want to destroy your local community as much as possible. This is called social justice. Burn everything down, your own homes, your own businesses, your neighbors' businesses. Steal from them and burn them down. And attack cops, too, because obviously cops are bad since they're trying to stop you from looting the stores to take the stuff that you already own in your own mind. Obviously, cops are bad, right? So this is how they operate. And they just can't wait. Oh, they can't wait to have a reason to loot and rob and burn and steal and attack. So they're just waiting for some other guy, some black guy to get shot by some white cop, and that's it. Boom! Then they're back in the streets, stealing more TV screens, selling them on eBay. This is their revenue model. They basically steal stuff and sell it, or they have the government confiscate stuff from you, the worker, to redistribute it to them in the form of food stamps and entitlements. This is the new American leftist economy under Obama. And isn't it beautiful? And imagine if they have even more success with this, every community could have all their businesses burned down, and that would be ideal for the socialist communist agenda. Then everyone would need help from the government. No one would be able to get a job because all the businesses are smoldering in the distance as ashes and bricks. And this would all be done in the name of social justice. Every community would be destroyed by the people who claim they're the victims. Isn't it beautiful? Absolutely masterful victimization, circular logic, if you will. And this is what they believe. So these are the people who are going to be the threat to you in an actual crisis in 2016 and beyond. So my advice is watch out. Watch out for these people. Make sure that you are safe and secure, or better yet, far away from the cities as you can possibly get. Thanks for listening. Mike Adams here, the Health Ranger, healthrangerreport.com and talknetwork.com.